So hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sadie Komochu and this is Farm Life Chronicles. Um, Half the time I'm never usually here, so you can tell that my environment is actually not the chicks, or rather the chicken. But much as I'd want to be there, there's a lot of noise and I haven't yet gotten the microphone thing that would be very good, especially because it's noise cancelling. But we're gonna get there because it's not expensive and we actually need to invest in this, because I want you guys to know the things that I know, so that when we both know them, then both of us can actually, you can do things. I mean, come on, you guys. You're somewhere there and you're stuck and you don't know, should I really start this farming thing? Is it profitable? Can I actually manage? And I'm here to tell you, imagine you can. Yeah, you can. It's possible, it's within your reach, and it's not absurd for you to think that. Poultry farming, come on. I mean, look at me. I'm a city girl, to be honest. I'm a city girl, but I'm here and I'm doing it and I'm loving it, and it's fulfilling, to be very honest. It's honestly fulfilling to actually do this. There's so much fire in me, especially on this particular field. It's just so amazing. So anyway, in this video today, we're going to be talking about something very different, and the thing is more of like a question that a lot of people keep asking themselves is, should I start a poultry farming business? And I think it's a very good question to start off with, because it will help you establish whether you're ready to do it or you're not. Because of course you have to be prepared when you're trying to do something. But then again, I always say, if you analyze something too much, then you never get to doing it. And it will be very unfortunate for you to actually not do it just because you have overanalyzed. Because if you overanalyze and you're doing too much planning, too much reporting, you're just not gonna do it. Okay? You're not gonna do it. So you need just, all those business plans that you guys have, just dump them. Just dump that business plan. It will not help you. Okay? I will help you. The business plan, no, it wouldn't help you. Because even if you have 10 business plans on this thing, it will not help you. It will not help you. It will just discourage you to start. And the reason why I think it will discourage you to start is because you're going to be going into the nitty-gritties of it all without having to choose experience over the business plan. So I just wanted to get started. Anyway, I don't want to yap a lot. So I'll start you off. And I think when you think about, should I start a poultry farming business, I think the first thing that comes to your mind is, do I have the money for it? But unfortunately, that's not the first thing you're supposed to be thinking about. That's not the first thing I would advise you to start thinking about. The first thing that you're supposed to scrape out, in fact, is, do I have money? Because you don't need money to start a business. No. And it's crazy. Please do not kill me, because I know we have a lot of people who are realistic here. But you don't need a lot of money to start a poultry farming business. You don't. And I'm only speaking within the realms of poultry farming, like within the borders of poultry farming. I don't want to speak for other things because I have not ventured in them yet. I will speak for this one. But I have been doing businesses, not too many, but I can tell you for a fact, you don't need money to venture into a business. No, you don't need. You just need to have the right attitude for it and the right spirit, to be honest. So I'm going to give you quite a number of things for you to reason and to see whether it is something that you should actually start. And as I've said, money is not the first thing you're supposed to be looking at. Remove it. Just let's remove the money thing, and now let's work with the other possibilities. Okay? So now that money is out of the topic, now let's go to the next one. The first thing you're supposed to be thinking about is, are you crazy enough to start? I know it's crazy. Exactly the point. It's crazy. But are you crazy enough to start? Because it takes crazy people to actually try. You need to be crazy enough to try. You need to be, and realistic enough to try. Because when you're realistic, you never get to try. When you're realistic, you too into the, I want to analyze, I want to see, I need so many reports. But you just need a simple report. You just need to know, for 1,000 chickens, how much does one cost? And I will tell you that for a fact. For one, it's about 135 at this particular time. So for 1,000, you probably need 135k. See, that's a basic thing, because it makes sense for you to actually know, for 1,000, how many am I supposed to start with? For 100, how much money am I supposed to start with? But ideally, the money bit should be kept aside, but you just need to know the basics, just the basics. But you need to be crazy enough to start anyway, okay? Because you don't need to start with like 1,000 like me. You just need to start with like, you know, like 100, 200, because it depends. And I think when you're investing in businesses, you have to check your risk, your risk appetite, you know, because everything is a risk. You're taking a risk when you do businesses. You're taking a risk when you're trying something new. So you just have to, you know, measure your risk appetite. Like, how much am I willing to put in? How much do I want to, you know, put out, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you need to be crazy enough to start. Okay? So that's the first thing. Second thing, question yourself. Please question yourself. Let me put my hat properly so that you guys can see well. Question yourself. Are you committed? Do you find yourself committed? Because I will tell you this for a fact. The poultry business requires a lot of commitment. I'm not gonna lie to you. I personally had to move from Nairobi and had to come to Nakuru to actually do this business. And trust me, it was quite the huge sacrifice, to be honest. Not that I didn't have a life in Nairobi, but I did. I even now, I always keep going back and forth, and because my life is there, but you know, we have to make that we have to make that money. You know, we have to make the money. But now we're here, and you see, I have this thing that I always believe in, that if you are able to be content with your present, it doesn't, you know, take away from the fact that you are, you know, you desire more. So I'm content with the now. But of course, I do desire to be somewhere else, of course. But I'm content with my now, because being content with my now will allow me to be very focused on what is happening at this present time. So you would require a lot of commitment if you're going to start this business. So you should question yourself and ask yourself, do I have the commitment to actually do this? Do I have what it takes inside of me to sacrifice my time somewhere else and be here? And, you know, I think people who are in corporate, who would want to venture in the business, because I know corporate is a bit tough. You know, you have to 9 to 5. Personally, I wouldn't advise you when it comes to the idea of commitment and having to leave wherever it is you are to focus on this business. I would not advise you to leave your 9 to 5 when you're starting out this business. Personally, you don't leave your corporate job to start a project. You leave your corporate job to run a project. I think it's so cliche, but I'm pretty sure you've had it quite a number of times, that you don't leave your 9 to 5 to start a project, but to run a project. That's the most wise thing to do, because, you know, I think life, even if you're crazy, you need wisdom. You know, you need to have a bit of wisdom on how to navigate life. So if you're in corporate and you're interested in actually doing this, I would always advise that you start with whatever you have. I'm pretty sure you have some money in your savings. You can start with whatever you have. Hire somebody, be a telephone boss, you know. Personally, I'm not a telephone boss because I frequent the farm too often. Like, I'm always there, either we're picking the eggs or, you know, we're feeding them. Like, I'm there quite a number of times, so I'm able to always be able to you know, see things through. Because I think when I started, I wasn't employed. I've never sought employment. I've never been a 9 to 5 person. And if it comes, amazing. But at this time, it's not something that I aspire for. Anyway, let me just tap that. It's not something that I aspire for. I aspire to be a serial entrepreneur, not really much of a corporate babe. But yeah, if you are in corporate, I would honestly not tell you to leave your job so that you can start this business. Just keep working, put your savings, and be a telephone boss. When you have your free time, especially during the weekend, come to the farm, be able to see like what is happening. Are the chicks okay? Your guy is doing the correct thing, the hygiene, because there needs to be like proper hygiene when it comes to this place. That's why I say that you need to have like 100% commitment, because you have to make sure that the hygiene is top notch. When I say top notch, I mean top notch. You know, you have to try as much as possible to make sure that they're eating properly from, you know, things that are actually very clean. You need to make sure that they're drinking clean water. So essential. I remember I had a problem with that, especially when they were growers. I think when they were a bit young, and there was a time I didn't realize that, you know, when they keep, you know, chicken do this thing where they keep scraping off things from the ground, and when they were doing that, they would always spill things in the water, and so in the process they started having issues, and they would poop. What's this called? Poop. The poop that comes out would have, you know, blood spots in it. which was a very serious thing, because you would notice that it would really derail them as individuals, and it would really make them, feel like they're not in the mood. And that's how you also notice when your chick is actually having a problem. They're very, chickens are supposed to be very jumpy, but if they're not jumpy and they're not moving around, then there is a problem. Okay, they're always supposed to be happy. So exactly the point. So if you're not able to like maintain the hygiene standards, then it's going to be very tricky for you to keep your flock for a very long time. You get? So that's where the commitment needs to come in. You have to be committed enough to be there, to be present for your farm, to be present for your business. You have to have that 100% commitment. And commitment can be very subjective. Commitment for you can mean 2 days a week. Commitment for another person can be 3 days a week. So depending on what you see is commitment to you, do that. Okay? So anyway, the next thing is I got that point, but it's like it's literally gone poof poof poof, magic, genie stuff. But anyway, the next thing is for you to be able to have what you call what's this called, patience. I always say this, I think I said this in my first video. You have to have patience in every business. I always say anybody who has done business understands the fact that 1 + 1 is not 2. You get? It's not 2. Sometimes it's not 2, sometimes it's not 2. I mean, if you've done business before, you understand that 1 + 1 sometimes is not 2. Umepiga mahesabu and you've done. Super sorry, my video cut me short, but anyway, we're moving forward. So exactly the point. As I was saying, in business, 1 + 1 does not equate to 2. That's something I've just come to learn. And the reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes you have done your analysis, you have done the math, and you have expectations, and sometimes those expectations are not always met. And the reason that's why I'm saying this is because patience here comes in, especially when things are not running as fast. For me, I'm in the poultry business on the side, on the layers side. I do layers, but of course will venture into broilers. And you see, for broilers, what happens is that they're there for like 7 weeks, and for them, you happen to dispose them off very quickly, and you get your money back very quickly as well. But when it comes to layers, you need to have a bit of patience for them, because they have a lifespan of about 1.5 years. And so the first 6 months are usually you putting in money. And of course, when they start laying eggs, it's not, no, it doesn't work like that. It's 1 today, 2 tomorrow, 1, they all have different times in which they actually lay eggs. So don't expect that all of them just start laying eggs. No, it doesn't work like that. What happens is that they gradually all start laying eggs. So you have to give them that that patient, that you have to be patient enough. I also thought initially that what happens is that when they start laying eggs, all of them are going to lay eggs at the same time. And of course, that was very naive of me to think of that, but it didn't happen like that. So you have to keep records and check whether they have increased their level, the amount of eggs that they actually lay. Have they decreased? What pace are they moving at? So it's very important for you to be very patient at this particular time, because with layers, you can't expect immediate gratification. It will teach you how to have delayed gratification, and even when you get your money, you have to really put it back. You have to first of all focus on getting feeds, because feeds is actually the most important part of this whole thing. You have to have feeds on a consistent basis, and depending on the flock that you have, that's you'll be able to tally how many bags you need per day. And I mean, as you've heard, feeds are very expensive at this particular time, but that does not really or should not really discourage you. Please don't look at that fast. I mean, this whole channel is all about, it's like a series, so it's gonna be like a series, what's this called, a series kind of structure. Sorry, somebody's actually on the phone calling, but I'll just ignore it for a minute. So as I was saying, it's a series. Like it takes you from one stage to the next stage to the next stage. So in this stage is you trying to figure out whether this is actually what you want to do, and if you're ready for it, or if you have what it takes to actually start it. So yeah, patience aside, you need to have a bit of management skills, which is very important for you, because if you don't have management skills that are within you, or you don't you don't really want to manage things, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually do the whole thing. So you need to have proper management skills. I did HR when I was in uni, so it really helped me to be able to manage people, and also I'm quite chatty, to be honest, so it really helps me to be able to speak to people, to be able to influence people to do things for me. And so it really does help. It really does help. And I would honestly say I'm very thankful, because the first employee that I got was really good, really absolutely amazing, an amazing man. Honestly speaking, he did a great job for me. It was an amazing time to like work with him, and you would always like manage things very easily, because again, I would say also, when you're trying to hire people, try to hire people who are also self-driven. Hey, Jesus Christ. Okay, self-driven. You hire people who are actually self-driven, so that they can actually, do the business and, run things as if it's their farm as well. You don't want people who you have to force them to actually be on the job, You want people who can feel the pinch, they can feel the pinch, because trust me, starting out is going to be a bit hectic, but you should not look at that. You just look at moving forward, and the fruits that are ahead of you. Okay, so for me, I would honestly say it's important for you to have management skills, be able to like try and figure out how you're gonna do bookkeeping, because it's essential for you to understand that as well. You need to check your inventory, you need to have like sales, you need to be able to do a bit of expense intake, like you need to be able to see where your money is going, and basically that's accounting. And also on the other side, the human resource side of it is being able to like have good relations with your team, if you have one, that is. Have good relations with them, because they're going to be very instrumental, especially when you're starting out, because you don't know anything about this business. You genuinely don't. So you need as much help as you can to be able to do what it takes to do the right thing. You need to have the vet with you. You need to be able to form good relations per se, and you also need to manage the resources that you have at that particular time. Okay, so with that in mind, I think those are pretty much the only things that you would require to start off, and money should not be an issue for you at this particular juncture. Don't think about the money aspect, just think about do you have this thing, like this, the things that I've mentioned, are you willing to like put those in? Because if you implement those, then the money is gonna be easy. The money part is gonna sort itself out. Okay, but this other part, if you don't have that and you have the money, it's not gonna work. Because if you're not committed, if you're not patient, and maybe you have the money, if you do not know how to manage the people that are are working for you and with you, you're not gonna make it. Because it's a combination of these things, combination of commitment, being crazy enough to start. Again, the video cut me off. I think I'm talking too much, but anyway, this is me capping the whole video, because I want to like finish it up. But ideally, all I'd probably say is that if you have literally gone with me throughout and have seen that you're crazy enough to start, you are committed enough, you have the patience, and you have the management, in you, then start. And the next video, we're gonna figure out how you're supposed to start. Okay, we're gonna try and do a small retake on how I built my chicken coop, and you'll be able to know everything, what you may need. And I'll also tell you, like, maybe give you an insight on what you should go for if you have this amount of money, and what you should go for if you have this amount of money, because I think it's possible to do either way, if you have a lot of money and if you have little money with you. So you shouldn't worry about starting from scratch and with no money, or with little money, because you can't start with no money. You can start with little money, but you can start with no money. But ideally, I'm gonna be able to give you like budget friendly ways for you to start. So just in case you want to start, of course, this is for those who want to start, and also those who just want to take an interest. I honestly think that agriculture has been, put on the back seat for a very long time, and people think it's so filthy. And I don't look filthy, to be honest. If you look at me, I look perfectly good. Okay, I look perfectly amazing, and you don't need to look filthy for you to do agriculture. Okay, you just need to really put your best foot forward and hire the right people, have the amount of zeal that is required for any business, and I think you'll be on the other side of success. Yeah. So if you haven't already, and if you like what you see, and if you like what you've heard, please go ahead and comment, tell me anything you want to hear. I'm gonna be able to answer, and if you have a word for me, you have encouragement for me, you can just tell me, make me feel good, because I'm doing the Lord's work. So yeah, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Please do subscribe. It will cost you zero shillings. It will cost you nothing, or $0, because my people from diaspora out there. Anyway, so it will cost you nothing to subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe, go ahead and go ahead and comment, say whatever you want to say down in the comment section, but be kind, and also share. Let this message go out there, because it's a message of encouragement and a message of, to inspire you to do the good things that you want to do, because it's good. Trust me, there is a lot of success in this particular field, and I want you to also attain it if you are very much interested, because it only takes you saying that I want to go for it. Whether you can do it or you can't is all up to you. See you on the next video. Bye.